Alright, hey, Hades and Mega here, and guess what? I got the battery to fit, guys. Alright, this is the Pulsar 72 battery, and I finally got it to fit in my bike. So, unfortunately, it won't fit with these on there. Alright, because it's too wide, it's going to rub on it when I put it in. So, unfortunately, I can't put these little pads for the frame. I like them, but I guess we'll just have to do without them. But I got the Pulsar battery to fit. How did I get it to fit? Well, so the biggest problem was the screws were getting hung up on the frame. All right, it was digging into the frame, and then if you put it in too much, it's hard to get out. All right, so there it is. What did I do? Is I made the battery taller. All right, guys. So I mean, one thing I thought about is why don't you just take the screw off and put a tape with where the hole is. All right. I had to do the same thing for this. I'd have to take all these screws off, maybe like these 3 screws off, because they would dig into the frame. All right, but I did instead of messing with the battery, I just made the battery taller. All right, and what I did is I added a spacer, all right, basically a block of wood to the thing. This is also supposed to have a kind of flat battery thingy here. All right. A flat battery tray, but it doesn't. All right, so this kind of solves the problem of needing the flat battery tray. All right, because it makes it flat by lifting it. All right, and then it solves the clearance issues with the screws. Okay, and it's pretty tight in there, so I don't think I need to use the air. It doesn't jiggle around at all, guys, so we don't have to use this guy. All right, the air wedge. So only for this battery. So it still kind of sucks that I have 2 different batteries, man. I would rather just have 2 of the same batteries. Honestly, man. I would rather just have 2 of these. Alright, so I don't have to use this stupid block. Alright, but yeah, so from now on, if I want to use this battery, I've got to put this block in there first, and then put the battery in. Alright, and then how are we going to hook it up? Well, Hades Mega still has to change the connector to a QS10, so that's all we'll do. We'll change this guy out. I think I need to change this one out too, because this one sparks every time I put it in now. I think the little resistor in there is busted, so probably have to change that also. But I'd like to get this battery ready for the race this week, and I think we can do that. So I want to see the performance of this battery. Even though it's similar performance to this battery, I'd like to see what it can do. All right. Yeah. All right. So here, let's take it out. So still, you can't charge it while it's in there. Check it out. You can totally close the lid. So I have the lid mod, so raising the battery is not a big deal, right? Making the battery taller. It's not like we're adding weight to the battery either, so I mean, it's a block of wood, you know, it doesn't weigh too much. And then there's still some space underneath there, but the space we're going to need is to put this connector in there because it's huge, dude. So there's probably still going to be a wire sticking out here. Alright. I'm not happy with the way that is, but if that's what I got to do to use the battery, then we'll do it. All right. I've had the battery up for sale for a few weeks now, and nobody's wanted. Ideally, I just want to do a trade, you know. But I think I'm probably just keep the battery. So that's the charge port right there, and you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to plug that in while that's there. So whenever you want to charge it, you got to flip the lid. Unfortunately, so. It's not that big a deal, I guess, but this one you can plug it in while it's plugged in, while the lid's on. So, okay, so yeah, let me do a demonstration, and then yeah, I think that's a little bit. So this is what I used previously. I thought this would be thick enough. I used this piece of foam that I cut out. All right, there's the thing right there. All right, and then I use this block of wood. So it turns out this block of wood is just the right thickness and everything, and I use this one. All right, so I think it's a 2x4. Yeah, it's a 2x4. Yeah, it fits perfectly. It's the right thickness and everything. So, and it's the right height. So what I guesstimated is we needed, when I put this at the bottom of the battery tray, and then I put the battery in there, the battery still wasn't touching it. So I figured, hey, you need to get 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. This is a little more than 3, but it's fine. Alright, and we've got plenty of room up top, because I have the latch mod. It's like you tell me, guys. Would you rather change your battery floor out or change raise your lid, man? I would rather just raise the lid, man. Plus, I think the raised lid looks better with the thicker seat anyway, so it's not a big deal. But also, it does raise the center of gravity, so there is that. All right, so it is going to make throw your center of gravity off by a few inches. Okay, 2 inches to be exact. So, but it's not really going to add too much weight to the bike. So, okay, so yeah. Let's go take it out and put it back in, and then I'll show you the block of wood, and then that'll be the end of this video, and then I'll have to go modify the battery. But yeah, I've had it on Marketplace for a while now, and like a few weeks. And nobody's wanted. Some kid wanted to buy it, but he kept on changing the time and location we're supposed to meet up. They were going to buy it for $1,500, and then nobody had a compact they wanted to trade. People had like a Surge or something. I was like, Surge, that's like a downgrade, man. The Surge is like the weaker battery. Alright, the Surge is basically this battery, but with weaker batteries. Alright, guys. This is a high performance battery. That's why I want to keep this. Alright, so we got to flip the lid up. Alright, I got to make sure the handlebars are straight, and then I pull it out. Alright, and it should come out. There we go. Alright. Ideally, we could probably take one of these plastic thingies out. Maybe we could probably take this plastic dealie right here out if we wanted to fit in there a little better. That's my guess, but. And I have this battery foam thing here too, but it fits. Okay, but yeah, here. That's what it looks like with the block of wood in there. Okay, it fits in there nicely. Now I don't have to worry about losing the block of wood because it fits in there perfectly. Like it's a kind of like the battery tray is like it's a tray, right? It's like kind of like a little bathtub, and it's not gonna fall out if it's in there, especially if the battery's on top of it. Okay, but that's the piece of wood that we're going to use. Let me take this little tag off. It's just something I had lying around in the backyard. Alright, I'll probably maybe sand it to smoothen it out or something. But it fits in there perfectly. Alright, let's go take a look at, compare it to the compact. Alright, so we'll put this here. I forget which direction it goes, but actually, yeah, I should probably write an arrow what direction it should be. But it's pretty obvious which way it's gonna go, man. I think the grain goes with the bike, alright, guys. So it's gonna go like that. Alright, I'm gonna put this on top. Alright, this is gonna be bigger. I actually modeled the block. Alright, guys, I modeled the block off after the compact battery. Actually, it's actually taller than the compact battery. It's fucking crazy, right? No, it's the same size. That's nuts, yeah. So that's the difference between a compact and a Pulsar. All right, 72 compact versus 72 Pulsar, and it's yeah. So that's how much Chi battery managed to lop off of the battery. I don't know how they did it. All right, I don't know the exact anatomy of the battery, but that block of wood, all right, that block of wood is 39 millimeters thick, or 1.5 inches. All right, 1.5 inches, or 39 or 40 millimeters. Okay, 1.55 inches thick is what I'm getting with the caliper. Okay, so yeah, I think we're good. Let me just show you putting it back in the bike. All right, so yeah, obviously if we're gonna put this battery back, you don't use the wood. All right, so I'm just gonna have to make sure I carry a piece of wood around with me when I want to swap the battery. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the block of wood in. All right, you can put it from the side if you want. That. Okay, make sure it's in the tray. It's not. There we go. Alright, and then put the battery. Alright, this battery, my batteries like to get hung up on my frame here, so I'm going to angle this bit so it goes in. Okay, make sure the battery cable isn't all pinched and it's not going in. Yep. Okay, here we go. Now it's the size of a freaking compact battery. Alright, and then yes, obviously you would connect it, but I have the wrong connectors. Alright, I could make an adapter, I guess. Alright, but I think this is going to go in here. And it's going to go like that. Alright, and that's it. Alright, and we'll take it out again one more time. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck. Like I said, we can't use these things anymore. I'm kind of sad. I've had it on the bike for a while now, and I kind of like it. Okay, there you go. Goes in, goes out easily. So that was the problem. It was the screws. Alright guys, it was these screws. So if I could take the screws out, yeah, if I took the screws out, I probably wouldn't need the pad, but that's okay. That's a simple way to get around the. I need the flat battery thing to thing it, and then yeah, I still use up the extra space that I need at the top. So yeah. So when I get I will go change the battery connector on this. I have a QS10P connector, just like this one. All right, and then we'll change that, and then we can actually use this battery. So, and yeah, I guess I'll wind up keeping it. Kind of sucks. Maybe somebody wants to trade a compact for a Pulsar or something. I would rather just have 2 compacts, guys, so I don't have to mess around with this block. All right, but there it is. That's what I had to do to get it to fit nicely. All right, I have to remove these. All right, because they add a thing to the side here. All right, maybe I could just glue this onto the frame. I don't know. That might work if I glue it onto the frame, or no, yeah, there can't be anything back here. Also, another thing I did is I took out this plastic thing. All right, I think this was eating up some space in there, so I took this out. It goes like, yeah, it goes like that. All right, so I took this out so I can get a little more space in there. All right, this doesn't really add any rigidity to anything. All right, and I believe in the Pulsar installation video, they tell you to add washers to these bolts so don't stick out as much. Right, but I've already added washers to it, so they don't stick out. Alright, so there you go. That is the modifications I had to do to get this battery to fit in here. I think I will go ahead and modify the battery now. We'll change the connector on the battery. I mean, that's all we'll do. Alright, and then we'll put it through its paces. Alright, thanks for watching. So that's how Hades Vega adapted the 72 Pulsar, alright, to fit in my 2018 Soron Light MX. Alright, there must be something different about the MX. The frame must be narrower or something. That's, you know, because I've had the same problem with the EBMX battery. So yeah, and then so what we found out in previous video is that this battery is actually wider. It's actually wider than this battery by like 8 millimeters. so that doesn't help. That's the reason why this one fits with these, and this one doesn't. Okay, so this one is wider, so I have to take those out, and then yeah, this got these screws sticking out. This one doesn't have that problem because it's taller. So that's what I figured. I looked at it, I was like, well, you know what, this one doesn't have that problem with the screws or the charge port getting hung up on there, because it's taller. So it's actually so that's where I got the idea from. Why don't you just make this battery the same size as this battery? And that's what I did. So okay, with the block of wood. All right, and I think that block of wood should will hold up, is my guess. Sorry, hopefully it does. All right. All right, thanks for watching. Here's Big Out. So look forward to some performance testing for next weekend's Supermoto race. I'm going to put this battery through its paces. All right, here's Big Out. All right, hey, Hades Mega here. So this is just an update for the Pulsar battery, right? The 72 Pulsar battery. So yeah, you found out how I was able to get this thing to fit in the bike. All right, I had to take the bumpers off, unfortunately. The little frame pads that I had. I think they're over there. See those over there? Yeah, those are frame pads. All right, I took those off so this thing would fit, and then so these screws don't rub on the frame, I added a spacer block to the bottom. All right, so this block has to go in there, so it makes it the same size as the compact. Okay, guys, and yeah, so I tested out in the race. Here, I'll add a clip of me swapping the batteries. Okay, guys.
Alright, hey, Smega here. We just got done racing with the Gladiator compact battery here, and I'm gonna swap it out for the next race. All right, with the Pulsar battery. All right, so that's the Gladiator compact and Gladiator Pulsar. So this is the second time I'm swapping it, the second video that I've done. So first, what I got to do is get the battery. All right, let's see. I'll see kind of how fast we can do this, but I'm not pressed for time. Okay, so shut the bike off, open the battery door. All right, pull the connector out. Pull. Oh, this one has a air wedge. I want to take this out. All right, for the Pulsar fits so tight that I don't use the air wedge. All right, we'll see how it does in the next race when we're actually going to jump the bike. All right. Wow, this Pulsar battery is much more compact. Oh, I messed up already, see? All right. I forgot. I need my block. All right, my block makes it the same size as a compact battery because the Pulsar is there's stuff that sticks out on it. All right, I put the block in. All right. Now I put the battery in. Okay, there we go. Went right in. No hang-ups. And I plug the battery in. Plug it in slowly first. All right. Okay, and then plug it all the way in. Okay. Close the lid. I like to put the connector on top of the battery right here, and then close the lid on it. That keeps it kind of secure. Okay. And I've got this. Actually, you know what? It's better. I like to put it over here. Yeah, right here is better. There's plenty of room on top. There we go. But now the lid is kind of loose now, so hopefully this battery doesn't jump up and down. I've never ridden with this thing in the dirt before, so we'll find out. Hopefully the lid doesn't just pop open or something. All right, there you go. And then I just turn the bike on, check the voltage, 96%, 81.3 volts. Looks good. All right, so that took about a minute. I forgot to put the block in. Yeah, it's really annoying, man. If I had two of these compact batteries, I wouldn't have to worry about that, but there you go. All right, so that's swapping the compact to the Pulsar battery. All right.
Okay, did you get that? Yeah, so I had to do some battery swaps in that race, and just between races I did battery swaps, and it worked out pretty well. All right, I just have to remember, yeah, I want to use this battery, I got to use this, and I got to do this a certain way. All right, this one I used the air wedge. All right, so you can see the air wedge there. Okay, the air wedge is in this one. This one I don't use the air wedge. This one is the nice thing about the battery is, yes, it is tighter. Okay, guys, it's wider, it's tighter, all right, and it doesn't it doesn't like bobble around inside or shake, rattle, and roll inside the battery compartment. Okay, so that's the one nice thing about it being tighter. Okay, guys. Other than that, I hate it. All right, guys. It does make it harder to put in. All right, it's just to come in like perfectly. Okay, guys. This one, it just, if you get it in there in the right position, it just goes straight down. All right, guys. This one, not so much. All right. But yeah, you just have to get it aimed in there right. All right, there is a decent amount of play inside that engine, that battery compartment. I mean, okay, and so that's the block there. All right, guys. That's the one that I'm using. All right, so if you're having the same problem I'm having, make a block like this. Okay, guys. I will put the exact dimensions of it in the description of the video. Okay, guys. If you guys are wondering, I know in the previous video I probably measured it for you also. So, but I'll put the measurements in the description of the video. So if you're having the same problem with the Pulsar battery that I am, then yeah. Okay. Chances are, if you have, if there's a max, I think whatever the next size up battery than this, it probably doesn't have that problem, man. Because that's the biggest problem I had, was these screws getting stuck. And I even thought about, why don't I just like take the screws out and then just put tape on the side, all right? But But this is better. I don't have to modify the battery or anything. So the only thing I modified on the battery was the connector. Okay, guys, and the connector worked great. The way I have this one is I just put it like I just go like this. Okay, there's a decent amount of room underneath the cover where like everything fits snug like right here. Okay, guys, so that's where I put this one. Right, the other one. The other one, so the other one, I can see it right now. It's going like this, okay, guys. It's going left and right. This one it goes up and down, okay, guys. This one just goes like that, okay. So I'm pretty happy. All right. I did kind of monitor the performance of this thing throughout the races. All right. I got it pretty warm, is what I'm gonna say. And this thing I can only pull like 20.5 kilowatts. All right, that's what the controller is saying. It's only doing 20.5 kilowatts, where the compact is doing like close to like 22 kilowatts. Okay, I have pictures of it, guys, to prove it. Check it out. Okay, yeah, but other than that, what I noticed, the performance between both batteries are the same, okay, guys? The extra 2 kilowatts, I don't really notice it, okay, guys? But yeah, it must be, it must not be as powerful, okay? What can I say? It's not exactly the same batteries, I want to say, all right? The specs are the same, but not quite, all right? Okay, but yeah, I have 2 fast batteries now, all right? And then, so this one is just going to wind up being a practice battery. I'm probably going to sell one of my old batteries. All right, I'm probably going to still keep one of them for something. Okay, so I just don't want to have so many batteries laying around, is what I'll say. So I've got 4 batteries for my Sauron right now. Okay, so but now I have two fast batteries. All right, 2 race spec batteries, and then I have 2 not as racy spec batteries. Okay, so but they're still okay. All right, but they're definitely not as powerful. Okay. I know what I should have done is I should have taken it out on the track and then checked how much power it's drawing when it's out on the track. But I remember this is 20.5, and this is close to 22 kilowatts. All right, guys. So my guess is, I don't know. We'll have to check how much this one pulls. This one is not very powerful. I remember the bigger battery is. It's either bigger. One of the 2 smaller batteries is more powerful than the other, so I remember. This is the one that has the Sony cells. I think the Sony cells are pretty high quality. I like the Sony cells. So. Okay, but anyway, there it is. And I drew a little Pulsar, not the Pulsar, the Chi battery logo right there. Okay, guys. All right, so that's my handiwork there. Okay. And then there's a smiley face on the other side. All right, so that I know that this block goes with this battery because it has the Chi battery logo on it. I drew it with a marker. All right, guys. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'll have the dimensions of this in the description of the video. All right, and then so that's how I was able to get this Pulsar battery to fit in better in this bike. All right, guys. Remember, it was getting stuck before, and I couldn't have that. All right. And even then, it's still hard to put on the bike. All right, I had to lose the frame bumpers. Okay, guys, and I kind of like them, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But it's okay. I can use this battery now, and its performance seems pretty good. All right. Thanks for watching. Hayes Make Out.